Imagine yourself 10 years from now. In one version, you wake up slowly, already bracing. Your lower back feels tight before your feet hit the floor. You shuffle to the bathroom, holding the wall for balance. Stairs require planning. Carrying groceries is a negotiation. You tell yourself, I guess this is just aging. Now picture a different version of you. Same age, same life, but you rise smoothly. Your hips unfold without protest. You stand tall without thinking about it. You carry your coffee with steady hands and walk down the stairs without gripping the railing. You feel capable, independent, confident. What's the difference? It's not genetics. It's not a miracle supplement. It's not an extreme workout plan. It's 3 minutes. 3 intentional minutes every morning, aimed at the systems that decide how well you move through life. Your hips, your spine, and your grip. Here's the hard truth most people don't want to hear. Decline rarely arrives dramatically. Compounds quietly. A little stiffness ignored. A little weakness compensated for. A little instability brushed off. Until one day, pain forces action. And by then, you're not building strength, you're trying to recover what's already been lost. Most people wait for the alarm bell of discomfort. They wait until their back goes out. Until their balance feels uncertain. Until their hands struggle to open a jar. That's when they start searching for solutions. But there is a small, powerful window every single day when your body is most responsive to change, and almost everyone wastes it. The morning, before emails, before errands, before the world pulls you outward. So what actually happens to your body overnight, and why does morning matter so much? While you sleep, your body isn't shutting down. It's shifting into repair mode. Let's start with your spine. Between each vertebra sits a disc. Think of it as a small hydraulic cushion. Throughout the day, gravity compresses those discs. But at night, when you're lying down, they rehydrate and expand. In fact, you're often slightly taller in the morning. Sounds great, right? Here's the catch. Those rehydrated discs are also temporarily stiffer. They're fuller, more pressurized, and less tolerant of sudden bending and twisting. That morning tightness in your lower back is not decay, it's fluid dynamics. Now consider your joints. Your knees, hips, fingers, and shoulders are lined with synovial fluid, a slippery substance that reduces friction and nourishes cartilage. When you move, that fluid circulates and becomes more viscous, like oil warming up in an engine. But overnight, without motion, it thickens. The first few movements of the day can feel creaky not because your joints are worn out, but because they haven't been stirred. Then there's fascia, the web-like connective tissue wrapping every muscle and organ. Fascia responds to load and movement. Without it, it becomes less pliable, more resistant. Think of it like a sweater left folded in a drawer versus one that's been gently stretched. And finally, your nervous system. During sleep, you're predominantly in a parasympathetic state, rest, digest, repair. When you wake, your system shifts toward sympathetic activation, alertness, readiness, action. That transition needs a bridge. Without one, you go from stillness to stress in seconds. Now here's the contrast. Most people wake up, grab coffee, and sit. They scroll. They slump. They rush. They move from horizontal to sedentary without preparing their tissues. Then they blame aging for stiffness. But what actually works is simple. Strategic movement that redistributes disc fluid, warms synovial joints, tensions fascia, and tells the nervous system, we are strong, we are stable, we are ready. Here's the aha moment. Morning stiffness is not a verdict. It's unprepared tissue. And when you prepare it, even briefly, you change the trajectory of your entire day. So if you only had 3 minutes, where would you spend them for the biggest return? If you want to predict how well someone will age, don't start with their abs or their biceps. Start with their hips, their spine, and their grip. First, the hips. Your hips are the largest power center in your body. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every time you climb stairs, your hips are doing the heavy lifting. Research consistently shows that walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. And walking speed is largely a hip story. Strong, responsive hips mean better balance, faster reaction times, and dramatically lower fall risk. Weak hips, shorter steps, slower gait, less confidence, and eventually less independence. Then there's the spine. Think of your spine as the main battery cable of your nervous system. It protects the spinal cord, the information highway between your brain and your body. But it's not just about protection. Your spinal position influences your breathing mechanics, which affects oxygenation, which affects energy and even mood. A chronically flexed posture can compress joints, limit diaphragm function, and increase pain sensitivity. An adaptable, mobile spine supports resilience, physically and neurologically. And then there's grip. This one surprises people. Large population studies have found a strong correlation between grip strength and overall mortality risk. In simple terms, people with stronger grips tend to live longer and function better. Grip strength reflects total body strength and nervous system integrity. When your grip declines, it's often a sign that global strength is declining too. It's not about opening jars. It's about systemic vitality. Here's the contrast. Most people train what they see in the mirror. Arms, chest. Maybe they do random stretches when something feels tight. Very few intentionally preserve these three anchors of longevity. Let me tell you about Mark, 62. He didn't think he had a problem. He walked daily. He stayed active. But he noticed something subtle. Stairs started feeling uncertain. He found himself pulling on the railing more. His confidence dipped before his strength did. When we assessed him, the root wasn't his knees. It was his hips, underactive glutes, limited hip extension. Once he rebuilt hip strength and control, the stairs stopped feeling like a threat. That's the aha moment. These aren't random body parts. They are survival systems. They determine whether you move through the world with freedom or caution. So here's the question. What can you realistically do in just 3 minutes that hits all three? This is not a workout. It's not about sweating, counting reps, or chasing soreness. This is hygiene for your joints and nervous system. 3 minutes, 60 seconds each. Done consistently, not intensely. Minute 1, hip activation flow. Stand tall beside your bed or hold onto a counter for support. Begin with slow, controlled hip circles. Lift one knee slightly and draw a gentle circle in the air, moving from the hip, not the lower back. 5 circles each direction, then switch sides. If balance feels unstable, keep your toes lightly on the floor and make the circle smaller. Next, move into supported squats. Hold a countertop or sturdy chair. Lower yourself into a comfortable squat depth, even if that's just a few inches. At the bottom, gently squeeze your glutes for 3 seconds before standing tall. Repeat 5 to 8 times. What's happening here? You're circulating synovial fluid through the hip joint, reducing stiffness. You're waking up the glute muscles, the primary stabilizers that protect your knees and spine. You're telling your brain, these hips are active. These hips are strong. Minute 2. Spinal wake-up sequence. Place your hands on your thighs and move into a standing cat-cow. Gently round your upper back, tucking your chin and tailbone. Then slowly arch, lifting your chest and extending through the spine. Move segment by segment, as if your spine were a wave rolling upward and downward. 5 slow repetitions. Then add gentle rotation. Cross your arms over your chest and rotate softly to the right, then to the left, staying within a pain-free range. Think fluid, not force. This redistributes fluid within the spinal discs, easing that morning pressure. It restores movement variability, which your nervous system craves. Instead of jolting your spine with sudden bending, you're preparing it. You're building tolerance before demand. Minute 3. Grip and carry activation. Grab a towel. Hold each end and twist as if wringing out water. Squeeze firmly for 5 seconds, then reverse directions. Repeat several times. If you have access to a sturdy bar, a brief dead hang, feet supported if needed, can be powerful. Even simply holding onto a doorway frame and gently loading your arms works. Then pick up something moderately heavy. A dumbbell, a kettlebell, or even a filled water jug. Stand tall and carry it for 20 to 30 seconds. Switch hands. Focus on posture, ribcage stacked over hips, shoulders down and back. This does more than strengthen your hands. Strong gripping creates something called irradiation. when tension in the hands amplifies activation throughout the arms, shoulders, and core. You're increasing neural drive across your system. You're telling your body, we hold, we carry, we are capable. If mobility is limited, perform everything seated. Seated marches for hips, seated spinal flexion and extension, squeezing a stress ball instead of hanging. The principle stays the same: move, activate, signal strength. All of this can be done in pajamas, barefoot, before coffee. This isn't just about mobility. Something deeper starts happening when you do this daily. First, it feels almost too simple. 7 days in, you might just notice that mornings feel less jarring. The stiffness fades faster. Your hips warm up more quickly. That's synovial fluid beginning to circulate more efficiently. Joints that are regularly moved in controlled ranges become better lubricated. Your body starts expecting motion. By 30 days, something more subtle happens. Your glutes begin firing automatically when you stand or climb stairs. You don't have to think about squeezing them. They engage because you've rehearsed that pattern daily. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition. What was once deliberate becomes reflexive. Grip strength follows the same rule. When you challenge your hands consistently, you're not just building muscle tissue. You're improving neural efficiency, the communication between brain and muscle. Signals travel faster. Recruitment improves. And because grip strength reflects overall system integrity, that improvement radiates outward. Around 90 days, posture often changes without conscious effort. You find yourself standing taller in line at the store. Your shoulders rest back more naturally. Balance improves because your hips are stabilizing you more effectively. Reduced fall risk isn't dramatic. It's the quiet confidence of feeling steady on uneven ground. Linda, 71, started this routine because her hands felt weak and her lower back ached every morning. She struggled with grocery bags and avoided carrying more than one at a time. After about 60 days, she noticed something unexpected. She wasn't thinking about her back anymore. She was walking into the store, loading 2 bags, and carrying them to her car without hesitation. Her balance felt steadier stepping off curbs. Nothing heroic, just easier. That's the real contrast. Most people chase short bursts of motivation, a new program, a surge of discipline. But the real shift happens when identity changes. When you stop saying, I'm trying to get in shape, and start saying, I'm someone who maintains my body daily. Here's the aha. It's not the 3 minutes themselves. It's the daily signal of strength you send to your brain. Over and over, you reinforce capability instead of decline. But here's where most people sabotage this. Here's where good intentions quietly fall apart. Mistake number 1, making it too long. People take a simple 3-minute reset and turn it into a 20-minute production. Suddenly it requires workout clothes, a mat, the right mood. Complexity kills consistency. Mistake number 2, waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel energized. Many mornings you won't. If this routine depends on how you feel, it won't survive real life. Mistake number 3, inconsistency. Doing 10 minutes once a week is not the same as 3 minutes daily. Your nervous system adapts to frequency, not heroics. And the biggest mistake? Treating this like a workout instead of hygiene. You don't skip brushing your teeth because you're not motivated. You don't say, I'll brush for 45 minutes on Saturday to make up for the week. You do it daily because it prevents decay. This is brushing your teeth for your joints. So how do you make it stick? Habit stack it. Attach it to something you already do every morning. Right after brushing your teeth. Before your shower. After you start the coffee. Make it visible. Leave a dumbbell or water jug by the counter. Hang a towel where you'll see it. Environment beats willpower. Track a simple 7-day streak. Just 7. On a calendar, a notebook, anywhere. The goal isn't perfection. It's proof. And make it public. In the comments, write day 1. Not for me, for you. When you declare action, you strengthen identity. Imagine yourself a year from now if you don't ignore this window anymore. Fast forward 1 year. In one version of your life, nothing changes. Mornings stay rushed. Stiffness lingers a little longer. Stairs feel slightly steeper. You adapt quietly. You move a little less. Your world shrinks just a bit and you call it normal. In the other version, you never miss the window. 3 minutes. Every morning. Your hips stay responsive. Your spine stays adaptable. Your grip stays strong. You move through your day with steadiness instead of hesitation. Your world expands because your body supports it. Longevity is not dramatic. It's not built in one heroic workout or a sudden burst of discipline. It's built in daily micro-investments that compound silently over time. So here's your challenge. Starting tomorrow morning, commit to 7 days. No intensity, no perfection, just consistency. When you're done with day 1, come back and write it in the comments. Share how you feel. Build momentum. Subscribe if you're ready to protect your strength, balance, and independence for decades to come. Because capability is not reserved for the young. It's built minute by minute,